Good afternoon, Chicago. Welcome to another episode of On the Scene with Scene Chicago. My name is DL. Want to give a mad shout out to iHeartRadio, Intellectual Radio. We got a couple of sponsors today. We got Fashion Alliance Chicago, Scene Chicago, and of course, My Chocolate Soul. We got a bucket of chocolate right there, ladies. Dig in.
Thank you.
That changes everything.
That changes everything. Is that a game changer?
That changes everything.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a game changer. Joining me today on episode 2, to my immediate right, I got Mariah.
Hello. Thanks for having me here.
The lovely Monica.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Most amazing Winnie Woo in the building. What's going on, Winnie Woo?
Hi. You guys are familiar with me.
There you go. Well, first of all, let's get started. I chose these 3 guests because these are 3 amazing people who are doing amazing things here in the city of Chicago. Winnie's got a bridal shop. She's got a radio show called Rising Icons, and she does a lot of cool stuff with. Monica Garrison over there next to Winnie Woo, a most amazing author. And I don't know what to say about One Heart, One Soul. One heart, one soul. Mariah right here to my immediate right. Do me a favor. Tell me about One Heart, One Soul.
One Heart, One Soul is a nonprofit organization. Our focus is to raise awareness and eliminate misconceptions surrounding homelessness for youth specifically. And we do that with the power of art and literature.
Why the youth? I mean, why not adults? I mean, what made you choose the youth?
Well, there's 2 things. One was my personal experience of homelessness, which I experienced when I was a youth myself, when I was in college living in Los Angeles. And the second is because there's a lot of misconceptions for youth in itself. They have to deal with a lot already as it is. So it's just providing a voice and providing a platform for youth specifically because they have to deal with enough as it is, the culture that we live in. In addition to that, they're facing the same issues that adults are facing at the same time. So my heart is on youth.
I get that. Where were you going to school? You were in L.A. You were going to school?
Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising.
Wait a minute. You're a fashionista?
Yes.
You didn't tell me that.
That is my background. I graduated from FITM. I have a degree in apparel manufacturing management and then another degree in merchandise management.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. See, Chicago, beauty, brains, and a good heart. I mean, come on. How about that? Check this out. Monica, talk to me. Ms. Garrison.
Yes.
You're an author.
I am.
How'd that come about?
Well, I wrote my first book, Journey to Loving Me. It was more therapeutic, healing. I was going through a divorce. My mother was just diagnosed with cancer. And I felt lost, like so many people do, especially women. And I come from a abusive background, and I wanted to write a book to kind of be a little bit more self-healing. And so my book is a memoir where I'm talking about resentment. I'm talking about not loving myself, which led me to make unwise decisions in life as far as partners and leading to situations in which I, at the time, perceived to be a mistake. I've now learned that there's never a mistake. You can learn from every decision that you ever made. And through that, I became a speaker, and I reach out to young women, young girls, basically the age of 17 and older, and also women as well. And my mission is to reach as many souls as possible, to be of empowerment for them, to let them know that we are taught in society so much hate and anger, but we're never taught to love and have self-expression and to know that we're beautiful and that we're important and we're special. And so it's a learned behavior to learn to love yourself, and not just say love yourself, but to really value yourself, know your worth, and know that you're much more than your circumstance or the environment or culture in which you grew up in. And so for me, that has been my mission and what I reach to young people in hopes of trying to get them to understand that just because this is what society say that you are does not mean that that's who you are. You tell people your worth.
Amen. I love it.
That was beautiful.
I mean, I don't know what that means. She touched me.
I'm ready to attend all
So why young girls? And why is it young girls and young boys, or
it's actually both. I am a mother of 3 boys.
Okay.
Myself.
You?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have a 20-year-old.
He's my age.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's 20. I have a 15-year-old and a 7-year-old. And for me, In one of my chapters in the book, I talk about resentment. I held my older son responsible for the failure of his father in his life. And I don't know how, at the time, I didn't know how to be a mother to him without holding him accountable for his absent father. And I realized through my book was that I met other women with the same issues. Is how do I mother a child when the father has been absent?
Camaraderie.
Not there. And what I had to do was I told him, I'm sorry for not being a mother and a woman that you needed me to be. I'm sorry that I didn't show up in your life. And he told me, Ma, I forgave you a long time ago. And it was the turning point in our relationship, because I had to apologize to him and let him know that I wasn't what you needed me to be. And it was just a catalyst that led to all of the other self-healing. One morning I went to the mirror and I said to myself, Monica, I love you. And I broke down, because until that time, I had never in my life said, I love you. And it felt foreign. And so I felt, if it felt foreign to me to tell myself, I love you, how do other people feel? Now, we said to other people, I love you. We express it to our partners. We express it to family. But how often do we express it to ourselves?
Right.
We don't, because we're taught to love yourself means that you're being selfish. And you're not. You're being selfless when you love yourself. And so that's something that you have to teach others how to do.
Winnie Wu, you sitting over there looking amazing as always. Look at that smile.
Thank you.
Fashion. Wait, we got kind of two fashionitas.
I was just take a minute to take care of whatever she shared. I'm like, wow, you have to come to my show. Please. Because you have to try out the show we just ended, like it related to what you just shared, like how to being a parent and being vulnerable and really express your love to people who's in your life and someone who really important to you. I just like got so emotional. And then you call out my name.
Yeah, it touched me too, because I lost my mom September 25th, 2007 to lung cancer. Yeah. And everybody knows I'm a guy's guy, but little do they know I'm a mama's boy. Yeah. And that side of me, I mean, I still talk to my mom almost every day. Okay. She and I vibed earlier this morning, you know, and she was telling me about a good friend of mine named Ramona. Hey, Ramona. And she was like, she's a good girl, so hang tight with that one. Okay. All right? Winnie Wu, come with it. Tell us about Jade Bridal. Tell me about the radio show. Tell me about you two fashionistas.
Well, you know everything, but I will share with everybody who doesn't know me. So I own a bridal shop in Chicago called Jade Bridal. I founded the bridal shop with my family together. Back in 2014, December, we have been in business majorly focused on custom-made bridal dresses and formal wear. And we are working on our collection to expand our business and doing wholesale to other country, because we have customers come from other countries like Argentina, Mexico.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. And then, you know, they express like they don't have much choices. So I think it would be a good to... I believe personally, every woman, they have a dream of marrying the love of their life. And fulfilling that dream is so important to me.
Okay.
And, you know, I love wedding. Like, take it easy, Josh. But, you know, that's a woman's dream. That's a girl's dream, you know. So I just want to, like, reach out to more girls to get the dress they want. Then I came in a show like probably last year sometime, and I happened to start partner with Sin Chicago and start my radio show called Rising Icon. And the show, we are focused on sharing stories that touch, move, and inspire people, just like Monica, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like Monica just shared it's authentic, it's real, it's not talking about life is all butterfly and rainbow and everything's great. I just want to show you my great life. That's real lifestyle. It's not like that. It's we're human. We have emotion. Like we have things matter to us. So the show is really focused on future people to share their story to the world. What message they're sending. Mm-hmm. And also like even people like the artists, the musician, the model, filmmakers, whatever they do, like painters, what kind of message they want to send to the world through their work. Mm-hmm. So that's what we work on.
I guess I just want to just double check on something. When you and Ramona were in the green room, you weren't sizing up for the wedding dress, were you?
We talk about it.
I guess you'll know shortly.
I'll find out in a couple of days, right? So we're gonna bounce the mic back to Mariah. Mariah.
Hello.
So talk to me. You talked about the homelessness. You talked about living in LA. What motivated the art piece? Why are you trying to reach the youth with art? And I know with all the gun violence going on in the city of Chicago right now, and all the nonsense and hoo-ha and hoo-ha.
Right.
Why art? What made you choose art?
I love this question. I love it because in schools, art is the first program that it's known to be the first program that's removed. If the school can't afford it, if there's no budget for it, that's the first one to go. It's not really taught as much in the home. It's not really something that's accessible to everybody. I moved around a lot when I was younger. I grew up in just a low income area. So art was not a priority to us. It was a priority for me in my life because that's what my mom provided me the opportunity to experience. And that for us was, I was raised by a single mother, and she, I'm a first generation American. So my mom took herself to school, and taking herself to school to learn English as a second language, to get her associate's degree, to get her bachelor's degree, to move up for herself and also for her daughters. My sister and I went to school with her. We went to night class with her. So 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, 7-year-old, 8-year-olds are sitting there in class with my mother. And for me, she would give us pen and paper. Here, entertain yourself. So what do you do when you entertain yourself? So for that, it just, for my mom, it was just something to keep us entertained. But for me, that was my moment of peace. I'm like, this is where I can just dive in. This is where I can express myself. This is where I can just process and do what I have to do. Art has always been a passion of mine. I've gone through fashion. I've gone through, I went through the business route, through the fashion route. But for me, my heart is writing, and it's painting, and it's expressing. So if that's been healing for me, why can't we introduce that to youth who are experiencing homelessness? Why can't we provide an opportunity for it to be healing to others? A lot of the youth that I work with have never done art. Something as little as painting, or holding a paintbrush, or even looking at a canvas, not knowing what it is. So it can go anywhere from introducing the materials to say, this is acrylic, this is a paintbrush, this is kind of the way that you transition to do it, to just youth having impeccable amount of talent, and they just are so creative that they just create these amazing masterpieces. So when I hear the question, why art? To me, it's because it's soothing. It's a way to process. It's a way to express yourself. There's no limitations. There's no boundaries. You have the ability and the opportunity to do what you want to do, and you don't have to stay in the box to do it. And I think that so often our youth are already placed into boxes. They're already looked at as a certain type of, the youth are just youth. That's what it is. But yeah, to me, let's just provide the opportunity that not everybody has, but everybody should have. So art is just that means of transportation, that means of communication, and that means of coming together. It's powerful.
I love it. Now, Chicago, now, I got to say something right now real quick. Do you see these three lovely, intelligent, beautiful women here in the studio with me? Host a radio show. You guys can meet women like this. How about that? Monica,
Yeah.
So if your message, what's your message to the young ladies? Well, first of all, let me back up to you. Chicago, y'all heard her say she writes, right?
Well,
I heard you say you write, right?
I'm right?
You write.
Oh,
WRITE.
I do, yes.
So, seeing Chicago should be getting an article pretty soon to help.
Oh, yes. That was smooth.
Well,
Yes.
I tried. We're gonna pack back, Monica. You're an author. You already know where I'm going
Yes.
with this. Young lady, tell me about if you're sitting in front of 5 young girls right now. What would your message be to them? And what would you say to them if they, just talk to me about that.
That's a great question. The first thing I would want to know from these 5 young ladies is if they know what self-worth means.
What is self-worth?
Self-worth means when you don't have to look outside of yourself for love and validation. Self-worth means when you know that when you wake up, no matter what, that everything will be okay, and that you are a child of God with a light that shines so bright. So you don't need anyone to tell you that you're important. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're beautiful. You know that from within. and it shines from the inside out. Oftentimes we think that love happens from outwardly in, and it doesn't. It's inwardly out.
Say that one more time. Make sure they heard that. Say that one more time.
Love is a misconception. People believe that love happens outwardly in, but it's really in out. It's how we love. And you reflect that. You teach people how to treat you. And young ladies don't know how to teach a person how to treat them because they're looking for that person to give them validation. They're looking for that person to say, you're special, you're pretty, you're important. Instead, you should be showing that to yourself. Date yourself. I go out all the time alone. I don't need a date to go out. I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm beautiful. I know that. And so because of that, I have created a circle of supportive friends. And about that is also, I would teach the young ladies about Facebook and about social media and having that those are not your real friends, and putting that stuff out there does not
5,000 likes or whatever, 100,000. It ain't about the likes.
Motivation
I mean,
for the likes.
there's only one like, and that one like is you. If you like yourself, you can have 5,000 likes, but none of that means nothing. You're only 5,000 likes away from a one like, and that's liking yourself. Because tomorrow you can post a picture and then get one like or no likes. So you can't live your life based off of who supports you on Facebook or social media or whatever it may be. It's about you supporting yourself. And so I would tell the young ladies is that if you're looking outside of yourself for someone else to do that for you, you will never find it. You will spend your entire life, even into your adult life, searching. The old thing, looking for love in all the wrong places. You will absolutely find yourself looking for love in all the wrong places. And one of the things that I've said at some of my speaking engagements was that I made running for myself a profession. Because
tell me about that.
I was embarrassed. I was ashamed of myself, not really wanting to deal with my own mess. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to deal. I made my mess look beautiful with getting my hair done, putting on makeup, putting on nice clothes, getting dressed. You would never know that inside I was broken. And so I was beautifully broken. And from there, I decided that in order for me to be a better mother, a better woman, that I had to start from within. And it started with realizing that there was something wrong, which there is nothing wrong with something being wrong, and doing something about it. And so from there, it just birthed all of the new ideas, all of the new ventures, all of the new people that I have met along the way. And so when I started off the book, I never thought to publish it. It was more like a journal entry that kind of spiraled into another journal entry, which spiraled into a chapter, and then what birthed Journey to Loving Me, Lessons Learned Along the Way. Because life is nothing but lessons that you learn along the way. It's what you do with those lessons.
In Chicago, do you hear this beautiful woman talking about sometimes she go out by herself? It's Monica Garrison. I'm going to give you all her number, 312-555, beep. Hey. So, Winnie, talk to me.
What do you want to know about me?
I don't know. I'm sitting here with three beautiful women. I'm a little nervous right now. I mean, I feel a little out of my.
That's a good nervous.
That's a good nervous.
That's a good nervous.
That's a good nervous. So let me ask you a question. How would somebody get in contact with you? Or how could if somebody wants you to come out and speak to a group of girls or boys or youth?
Sure.
How do they reach you, young lady?
They can reach me through my website, monicalgarrison.com.
How do you spell that? I'm a little slow. How do you spell that?
MONICA, the letter L, GARRISON.com.
You have any social media or email address you want to share with these people? Or?
My email address is monica@monicalgarrison.com. Okay. I am on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, all at Monica L. Garrison.
Wow. Social media. Now we're going to bounce out to these two fashionistas. I mean,
finding you in a second.
Okay.
You'll be looking for it in a second. I like that. So, Mariah.
Yes.
How can we? Well, I mean, tell me about One Heart, One Soul. Is that a not-for-profit? Is it an organization that people can donate to?
Yeah.
And if they want to donate to it, how do they do that kind of stuff?
We are a not-for-profit. It's community organized, and it's not-for-profit. Our website is the number 1 HEART, the number 1 SOUL.org. So that's oneheartonesoul.org. The inspiration behind the name is Acts 4:32, where it talks about all the believers coming together and acknowledging that not everything is theirs, but it's theirs to share and theirs to give. So the heart of the organization is Acts 4:32. We are all of one heart and of one soul. If we can come together in one heart and one soul, how much more effective can we be in the lives of others who may or may not be living in darkness? So it is the website, oneheartonesoul.org. Are they social
media like Twitter? Or?
Absolutely. I don't really use Twitter. I apologize right now. I'm not really a Twitter person. Although our account is there, but it's all at We Are OHOS. So it's We Are One Heart, One Soul. We Are OHOS.
I like that. Jay's Bridal, beautiful, the wonderful Winnie Wu. Talk to me. How can we reach out to you and with Jay's Bridal? I mean, the stuff you're doing in fashion and all that other good stuff. Your hair looks very nice. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at y'all. Oh yeah, I'm looking at these women. Y'all see these 3 women in Chicago? They're all the hair's flawless, the makeup, the whole 9 yards, and those without makeup are wearing it and doing that too. They're doing that too.
That's the woman that love themselves. Show up to the world.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so you guys can find me our bridal shop at jbridalchicago.com, spelled as JADEBRIDAL Chicago.com. And we have social media on Instagram and Facebook as well. So you can just simple search J Bridal Chicago, you'll find us. And for the radio show is you can find us on the Scene Chicago website. Actually, if you want to look back at some of our episodes that are already out, feel free to check it out. And our Facebook page is Rising Icon, Winnie Wu and Friends.
Follow us. I like it. Well, first of all, ladies, I want to say thank you for blessing me with y'all's presence and coming out here and spending some time with me. Chicago, we're going to take a station break real quick, and we're going to get a little love to our sponsors, Fashionland Chicago, Rising Icons. We're going to get some love to Scene Chicago and My Chocolate Soul. Ladies, enjoy some chocolate. And thanks again, beautiful ladies. Thanks for coming out. Welcome back, Chicago, to All the Scene with Scene Chicago. It's a little different now. Y'all saw those lovely ladies in here. Now we got a group of handsome gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Group of handsome gentlemen. I got my main man Z to the one to Z. Z right here, right sitting next to me.
Sir. Those of Hamza. Appreciate you for having me on here, man.
Cool beans.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm Chuck. Chuck, better known as Who's Your Barber, social media tag. One of the hottest barbers in Chicago.
And I'm Bobby Price, owner of Principal Barbers in North Lawndale.
Bobby, welcome to join us. And we got the lovely Tina Marie on the phone. I'm going to be Rick James. You going to be Tina Marie? I'm going to be Rick James.
I'm down. Let's do this.
Let's do this. So tell us a little bit about you, Tina Marie. We're gonna bounce the mic to you first.
All right, put me on the spot. All right, well, I am Tina Marie, and I have my own salon suite in Indian Head Park, Illinois. I've been doing hair for about 11 years. I love what I do. I love making people look good and feel good and all that stuff. So I am excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Tina,
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on? Where are you? I mean, where you be? Where are you?
I'm in an Uber right now. I just landed from a delayed flight from Cleveland. I was teaching at the Cleveland Barber and Beauty Expo. So I had a lot of fun with all of the Clevelanders and
Time out. That's that place up north. I play football in Michigan, so we're gonna say go blue. That's that school up north. Ain't no good people in Cleveland. No, I'm sorry. I'm just joking.
They were good to me. So I can't hate on them. But no, I'm happy to be home back in Chicago for sure.
Cool beans. And so so who you by yourself or who you with? I mean, what's going on? Who you with?
I am with the lovely Sonia. She is the head of the A-list firm, and she's my manager and best friend. And then I know you have Rima in studio with you.
I'm looking at the lovely Rima. She didn't want to come into the studio with us because I understand all this testosterone in here and all this handsomeness flowing. You know, I get it.
I mean, I don't know though. Rima's gorgeous. So
Rima finer than cat hair. Rima good. Don't worry about that. You ain't gotta worry about Rima. She all good.
She's got it going on.
Yes, she does. I'm gonna bounce out to my man Chuck. Chuck, we're gonna put you on the spot. Tell me about your barbershop. Why? How long you been cutting?
So I've been cutting hair for 20 plus years. I am the owner of Fat Faye's Barbershop, which is located on the north side of Chicago. And I recently just opened up a new salon, private barber studio, which is right on A24 West Superior, the Hair Historian. At that particular location, I've got away from traditional barbering as what you know it, and I create more of an experience at that particular location, as well as I do scalp micropigmentation there. One of the only shops licensed in Chicago to do that.
I like that. I mean, you see, I'm
definitely. It'll work for you.
It'll work for me.
Definitely.
Okay. So that's it. Halstead and Huron.
No, well, Superior and Halstead.
I'm sorry, Superior and Halstead.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I hear, Z, check this out, man. I hear, some of y'all done celebrity hair and stuff like that. This is like we at the barbershop. I mean, what's your favorite cut? What's your favorite styles? And we're gonna go outside back in. We're gonna start with Zeke. Hey, ladies, look at this handsome guy. You see that?
Favorite cut to do, to be honest with you, is just, man, I like that low cut. I'm not gonna lie, I like cutting that even all around where you see them waves after you're done, where a person just walks in looking crazy, walks out looking like a brand new man.
Well, yeah. How long you been cutting hair, man?
I've been cutting hair for about 4.5 years.
What made you start cutting hair?
Man, it's an art. I got into cutting hair because, man, I wasn't happy in my life, at times. And there was just so much like negativity and all that. And like find something that you could do and you're happy at doing it and you're just at peace and it makes other people feel happy and you put smiles on other people's face. It's all about good vibes, man. It's all about peaceful vibes. It's all about the vibes you carry, the respect you carry, and just how you carry yourself as a person. So I just love it.
I like that.
At peace with it.
Bobby, bring it. Talk to me.
Bobby Price. I've been cutting hair professionally now for 6 years. Prior to that, I've been cutting at home in the west side of Chicago and throughout the neighborhood, unlicensed.
Unlicensed?
Yeah, for about...
You're not like those unlicensed street pharmacists, right?
Since I was 15.
You're an unlicensed barber, right?
Pretty much I was. Yeah, I was doing damage. But no, and then, recently I do also do illustration painting. And so I use cutting hair as a creative outlet also. And so as I got older and found out the possibilities of barbering and what it can do and bring and how you can create your own environment as a barber in a barbershop, I knew right off top that I wanted to get into barbering professionally. Early on, I thought cutting hair was just 8 hours of hair on your clothes.
Okay.
But as I got older and matured, I realized that it was something far more creative. Yeah.
Question. So where's you say your shop's on the west side? Yeah. Where's it on the west side?
Off of Ogden, 3800, Ogden, 3820, West Ogden, off of Ogden, Avers. near the Lawndale Christian Health Center, Green Tomato Cafe, Lawndale Christian Community Church, and things like that. All that there between Central Park and Pulaski.
I got you. So tell me what's unique about your shop. Why should I come get my hair cut for free next week?
Well, we'll talk about that before it's free. But no, again, I'm a creative and visual artist. I was prior to opening my own shop, I was a barber at Soho House, Chicago. And before that, I was the barber at Haberdash Men's Clothing. So
I heard about that up in Soho. They told me you did a great job over there.
Yeah. My friend and I, Jerron, he's the barber there. He's still there. And so it was with Neville Barbershop. And so, we do traditional barber shaving, things like that. However, I've been blessed to be able to have a creative clientele and creative environment. A lot of my clients are creative directors and ad agencies and so on, actors and whatever. A lot of behind the scene guys.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes, right?
On the scene. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, I definitely wanted to create a barbershop that was pretty much bring what I imagine all the creative styles I have in my head out into the floor. And so I love mid-century style furniture. I love live performances and DJs. I have a lot of countless friends who are professional DJs and live performers and bands, things like that. So I have a stage, miniature. I love ping pong table. I'm not the best.
I saw that, man. I thought that was a pool table. Because I was I was gonna say I can come over there and you can show me how to play pool.
Yeah.
But we play $10 a ball.
Right.
But you show me how to play.
Yeah. But the idea was to create a aesthetically beautiful, warm spot and invite guys out and have the best. So
it's an experience. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Tina Marie, you and Sonia here with these handsome gentlemen are talking about. They've got these great locations. They're doing cool things with hair. I don't know, Tina. Sonia, can you hear me, Sonia? Don't be nervous, Sonia. Are you there?
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. This is Sonia Cahill.
Yes, it is.
Tell us a little bit about you, Sonia, and where are you guys in that Uber? How far are you away from the studio?
How far are we away?
There's traffic out there.
Is traffic out there?
We got like 20 minutes, so we're in a little traffic.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I got you. So Sonia was a person who introduced me to my man Z, my main man Chuck, Bobby. We met through Craig, but I need to know. First of all, I'm gonna ask each and every one, what's your favorite cut when you cutting hair? So I know what I'm gonna get from you, and I'm gonna get from you, and I'm gonna get from you. So for 3 weeks, I don't have to pay to get my hair cut. Got that? Cool beans. So for 3 weeks, I have to pay to get my hair cut. Sonia, you hear that, right? They didn't say no, right? So they can't take it back, right? They can't do that. So you can art with your haircut. I mean, would all you guys consider yourself hair artists? I mean, how does that work? I mean, I don't know.
It's different. It's like everyone has their own. Everyone's an artist in their own way, but it's just people express themselves differently. So everyone has their. It's like we're all one, but everyone has that individual style that they carry and that they have, which expresses them. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. It's like we all do the same thing. You can put us in a barbershop, we do the same thing, we cut, but you'll sit in my chair. It's something that I do different, that he does different, that he does different.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We all either have our own styles, our own way of doing things. So it's.
Now, I got to ask this question. So we're in the barbershop. Mm-hmm. So what's the coolest conversation going on in the barbershop? What's the
It's all, it's always sports for one. And then it always ventures off into one that's been told by us for years never to duplicate. And that's politics.
Don't talk about politics.
That's one of the things that's a ground rule, but it always goes there.
Yeah.
Well, on this show, we're going to talk politics and why Trump is the greatest president of all time.
Never that.
Okay. So no politics. So like, what's a typical conversation like in your shop, Chuck? Oh, Chuck. I said pointing to Chuck.
Yeah, but
Chuck, Bobby. Z. Come on, let's go.
So like I said, mainly sports. That's one of the biggest issues when you talk about sports. With all the fantasy leagues, with all the trades, with all that stuff. That's the main thing.
All right, I'm gonna start not to believe Chuck. So ain't no talk about women. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no talk about women.
That goes without saying. You already know that. the money comes in, it changes the whole dynamics in the barbershop.
So all your respective shops is it co-ed? Is it just one ethnicity, or does it? I mean, come on, what differentiates? I mean, I got 3 cool barbers right here. One of the barbers got locks. Both of y'all got beards. I'm looking at y'all's demeanor. Y'all got different kind of
in my
styles.
shop, I actually, man, I'm on the north side, my other shop. So it's like the melting pot, 7439 Northwestern. So it's a melting pot.
That's almost Rogers Park, right?
It is Rogers Park.
That's Rogers Park.
So with that being said, the clientele that walks through those doors, I have Hispanic, Asian, Ethiopian, Haitian, Jamaican. We cover all textures and styles at that particular location.
What about you, Bobby?
Well, actually in North Lawndale now, due to Lawndale Christian Health Center, the employees and the amount of diversity and people in the neighborhood is wide, from Korean, Indian, Caucasian. Wow. Yeah, in North Lawndale and that whole area. And what we're hearing now is, go ahead.
No. I'm waiting. I'm gonna interject.
Yeah, no. Lawndale is wide, and so due to I'm able to cut all styles and lengths of hair, using shears and things like that. I had to make the opportunity. I've been asked to open a barbershop in my community for the last 5 years from neighbors and leaders in the area. But just due to like economic sides of things, I didn't want to do it. However, since the last 3 years or so, things have been building up, and it was just time things fell in my lap. But in my shop, actually, there's hardly any sports talk. I'm a fan of football, play high school football and things like that, and I love boxing. And we whenever we get a chance, we boxing, things like that. But a lot of creative community talk is going on in my shop.
All right, now so you said boxing. I'm about to find out how old you are right now. Who's the greatest boxer of all time?
Mike Tyson.
What? Have you heard of some guy named Muhammad Ali? Yeah, I mean, this is Mike Tyson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let's go start a conversation.
We could be here all day.
Hey, Chuck.
I mean, I'm a firm believer of what you did say. Muhammad Ali was by far, from what I've known, the greatest.
I would say Muhammad Ali was he was a great man as far as boxing, because Ali, he held a wide range. I mean, you can't even compare him. But as far as boxing, I would say hands down Tyson. Tyson is
I feel like Tyson's more like, man, it's like
the dude was
come in, get it done, and get about it.
In and out. Yeah,
in and out. Z. So what's your?
He was an action figure.
Feed me, Z. Feed me.
You could look at it like, man, I feel like it's two different. Like, you got Muhammad Ali, which is back. I never really watched both of them. Man, I'm not that.
Still young. Right, that's what I'm saying. Here we go. That's why he like 29, 30, right?
No, absolutely. I'm 45.
Wow.
What you talking about, Willis? Keep going.
Right. So you got two different fighters. You got one that moves quick, and you got one that just wants to strike you and just eat you up. So it's of course,
one was more Ali, but one was strategic, definitely, and one was getting one and done.
One is just I'm gonna come in and brawl.
Exactly, one and done. The other
one that likes to move around with you. You got one that just.
I would say Ali was absolutely on the scene politically. Far beyond boxing, he was a great man, like hands down. Like politically and things he did socially and for justice was far beyond boxing, and that was just like a double-edged sword for him.
Now I'm gonna share something with you guys. As a kid, I grew up on 49th and Woodlawn, and right next door to me was the champ, Muhammad Ali. I grew up right next door to Muhammad Ali.
That's awesome.
And he'd had that. I'm looking at that big old white cockatoo sitting on the gate right there, and every pretty lady that walked by, Muhammad Ali would come out and give him a hug, and they would be in total awe. And as a little boy, he was like, "Don't call me Muhammad Ali. Don't call me Muhammad. Call me champ." And I called him champ to up until the end. That's the only name I had for him. He was champ. I was a little bitty boy. I would watch him pass out, give out, doing his community-based work in Hyde Park. Mr. G's, I know Mr. G's way gone by now. I'm talking about Mr. G's grocery store. I'm not talking about the dance club out south.
Yeah, wow.
I'm talking about Billy Gerstein and those guys on Mr. G's at the Kid Park Plaza, and Muhammad Ali would walk around like he was just some average guy. Wow. You know what I mean? And that always helped me maintain a semblance of humility and balance. Because I'm like, look at Muhammad Ali. He got him jumping out the Bentley back in the day. We was little kids. We see those cars. I was like, whoa. And he'd get out of them. And of course, he had the pretty ladies. I mean, that's barbershop talk. That's barbershop talk. That's barbershop talk. That's barbershop talk. Chuck, Tell me something good, man. Tell me about hair pigmentation and what you do and how you can help other people, some like myself, who losing a little bit up top, and that kind of goes down.
All right, so scalp micropigmentation is pretty much an illusion of hair follicles. It's done with a patent needle and a carbon-based organic ink. So it's similar to a tattoo. It only goes through the epidermal layer of the scalp.
Okay.
With that being said, so it's only 2 layers deep versus 7 layers deep. It lasts 7 to 10 years depending on how you care for it. So it's pretty much a permanent solution for hair loss, alopecia, scar camouflage. Some guys get hair transplants, they get the scar in the back, then they come see someone like me and get that scar pretty much camouflaged so that you don't see it. Also great for receding hairlines, density for someone who has longer hair that just want to create a little bit that are thinner.
Why'd you say receding hairlines? And look at my hair, man. What's up with that?
I'm receding too, man. So that's pretty much the basis of it, though. It's pretty much a non-invasive procedure that gives you a whole new life in a pursuance, I must say. Now
I'm gonna bring the barbershop right here, right now, and I'm gonna ask y'all, who the best? Out of you three, who the best?
Everybody's great at what they do.
No. I want to politically go. This ain't politics right now. It's like, who's the best barber?
One thing that you have to remember, it's not always about who's the best. When it comes to barbering, there's guys out here who can't cut lick a hair, but they have an awesome clientele because it's based off the experience that they give that particular client and what that client was looking for.
And relationship.
Exactly. So it's not always about who cuts the best hair. Everybody has something specific that they're looking for when they go into a barbershop. And when they get there from that one particular individual, they stick with them.
So exactly.
The difference between Tyson and Ali. So
brother, see, there you go. Now I think you're throwing rocks at my glass house. See, now I'm not really even happy with that, man. Tina, come save me. Tina, tell me about your favorite. Go ahead, Tina. Tell me about your favorite styles. Where's your shop? Where you do hair at? And why, and tell each one of them why they should all give me a free haircut as well. Your turn.
Okay. All right. I am located, like I said, in Indian Head Park. It's 6966 Wolf Road. I have my own little space, so it's just myself. So I feel like my clients love it. It's become family. I've been doing a lot of them for a really, really long time. So they get real comfortable in there. It's very kind of a boutique-y vibe. And styling is probably one of my favorite things to do. I've always said, like, cutting and coloring is great, and I love doing it. But the biggest thing people get excited for when they walk out the door is how they look and feel at the end. And so I feel like the style and the finish is huge, especially for women. They want their hair blown out to go out for a fun night or hang out with their man or whatever they're trying to do. So styling for me is probably one of my favorite things to do. And I do a lot of it out of the shop as well. I do photo shoots, magazine work. When I educate a lot on styling. I've kind of gained a title of the ponytail god.
What does that mean? Define ponytail god.
The ponytail, that sassy ponytail. Girls like to be able to wear their hair up off their face, and a lot of times people are like, oh, I look like I just left the gym. And I don't know, I have a way of rocking a ponytail out on people and making them look real nice and sassy. And so I've kind of gained that name. So I take a big pride in that. But I love what I do. I love the relationships that I've built. And to me, that's more important than even the talent itself. Yes, obviously, we're all very artistic. We all are amazing at what we do. But I feel like it goes way, way past that. When people look good, they feel good. And I love being able to change someone's whole attitude from the second they walk in and sit down in my chair, and then when they leave, you can see that change, and you can see the way that it uplifts these people and makes them feel good about themselves. And to me, that's more rewarding than anything else.
I love it. I love it. So how can we find you on social media? If I'm trying to come get my hair did, you know what I'm saying? How can we find you on social media?
Well, follow me on Instagram, Tina Marie _hair. I do post very often. I also like to post on my story. So when I'm on set doing photo shoots and when I'm traveling, you kind of get to see a day in the life of Tina Marie, and I am real on there. I can be a little extra with some things.
A woman being extra? I can't believe that.
And so I think people get a kick out of watching a day in the life. But yeah, follow me on Tina Marie Hair, and I post my work on there. I post inspirational quotes. I'm a big fan of quotes. I'm a big fan of supporting and uplifting everyone, not only in the beauty industry, but the barbering industry as well, makeup artists. I feel like we all, as much as we're different, we're all a part of the same world, and we're all a part of the same concept of making people feel good and look good. And so I love showing love and kind of uplifting everyone day in and day out. And I follow a lot of the guys that you have in studio right now, and they all bring a lot of motivation to me and a lot of uplifting quotes and whatnot as well. So I appreciate that from them too.
I love it, Tina. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bounce the mic to Z, and we're gonna tell you how they can reach you. What days you're doing work, all that kind of cool stuff, and let the ladies know what days you're available on a date.
You can reach me, contact me on Instagram, Dose of Hamza. Post up mostly. I try to post every day, but there's days where you get too busy, you can't post. But I try my best to post. Try my best to keep my page maintained with something where people could attract. Where it attracts people's eyes. It attracts that person to where they see something different. Instagram, Facebook, Dose of Hamza, Snapchat, Dose of Hamza, mainly on Snapchat, all that. So, I try to take advantage of social media, man.
Cool beans, Bobby. Talk to me, man. So, where can they reach you? When can they reach you? Where can they reach you? I mean, how much? Let me ask you a question real quick, because we're about to close out in a minute. We got about another 6 to 8 minutes on the mic. How much is an average haircut, and why is it? I mean, what's the average cost of a haircut for us guys?
Oh man,
you know what? That's a tricky question, because it depends. Honestly, it depends on what side of town you are and what type of barber you're dealing with. My basic haircut price starts at $100.
I'm sorry, Bobby. He said $100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. You saying like you charging $100 too?
And I have this conversation all the time, whereas a lot of people ask what is a haircut worth? Like how much should they pay? And I would say it's based on the barber and his skill, and what he believes his service is worth. A lot of people. So the average haircut, I think now across the U.S. is about $38 to $42 for a man. But right now in Chicago, overall, the city in barbers have not raised their prices according to cost of living since the early 90s, since 27 years. Exactly. It's been $15, $20.
And they're still charging $20 today.
They're still this day charging $20. And I'll say this,
in my other shop, I make them start at $40.
Now, there are a lot of barbers who do that, though, and we understand, too, that there are not a lot of licensed barbers.
True.
And so without being licensed professionally, a lot of them will shortcut. And so they don't understand the profession itself and taking pride in it as a full business and a craft. So they'll just cut hair like I was doing it for years in my kitchen.
He's in the kitchen.
Absolutely. And so, I was shorting the barber.
We talking about the kitchen in the back of your head, man. I know. Talking about the actual kitchen.
They were shorting it. I was shorting out the professional barbers who were doing it right in the shop. So I was charging $5. Oh
wow.
So
can you hook me on one of them $5 cuts?
Absolutely.
Just on the house. Just on the house.
Just on the house. One line. That's 9 hairs.
So before we close out, guys, any like in parting? I mean, anybody, I know you got celebrity clientele here. Tell me some of the coolest people you've ever cut.
I mean, everybody's pretty cool, but a lot of people are kind of, under the radar, where they keep their business to themselves. And that's one of the best things of what we do as well. So
you want to talk about none of the celebrities hair you cut?
Not really.
I got you. Because we got Chicago's best in here now. If he charging $100, he cutting some good hair. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are doing amazing stuff here in Chicago. And I want to give another thank you and shout out to iHeartRadio, Intellectual Radio, for allowing me, Fashion Alliance Chicago, to sponsor this show, Scene Chicago, and My Chocolate Soul with Ramona, the lovely Ramona, 4442 North Broadway, and Tina and Sonia. I want to say thank you guys. They just got off an airplane, Chicago. They said they thought it was that important to call in. They didn't want to miss out. So I'm gonna have Tina, because Tina, I saw your pictures. You should have been in the Pretty Lady show. You know, I had the Pretty Lady show earlier. Oh, wait, there she is. No, you got to come in here. No, you got to come in here. No. But Chicago, I want to say thank you, and we're gonna bring the lovely. Come in, Tina. We're gonna be on the mic. We got a couple of minutes. Come in.
Hello.
Hey, gorgeous. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hi, guys.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How do we get that? Do we get that? Well, Chicago, again, I want to say thank you for joining us here on the scene with DL. We got to get the lovely Tina back in the studio audience with Sonia and everybody else. I want to thank you, my main man Bobby. I'll be there Tuesday. Free haircut. Chuck. Next Tuesday.
Yeah, let me know when.
Z. With that. Again, Chicago, thank you. And much love to iHeartRadio. And catch On the Scene with Scene Chicago next Monday, 4 p.m. Same time, same bat channel. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Let's go.